Oh yeah, they're all sending you little hearts now. They love convention. Some of you already sort of got to meet Tamara Holloway at convention if you were in our breakout session. And Tamara is a diamond with the company. And the reason you may recognize her name is because she's on the leaderboard like week after week after week. And I fortunately had done a call for her last year sometime. Is that right, Tamara?
Last summer. It was like a year ago.
Like a year ago.
Yeah.
So I was able to like put the crunch on her because I know she's got family and everything going on, but I appreciate her time. I'm going to ask her a few questions, but I'm just going to let you just give like brief information if you want to, Tamara. Share with us maybe, how long you've been with the company and any other little tidbits you want to tell us about yourself, and then we'll kind of dive into a few questions, okay?
Okay. Can y'all hear me okay? Am I loud enough?
Perfect.
Okay, awesome. Tamara Holloway, like Lori said, Diamond Ambassador, and I actually started in mid-August of 2013. So my 2-year anniversary is coming up in just a couple of months, which is crazy to me because it literally feels like 6 months ago that I started this whole thing. So we just moved to Northwest Arkansas from Little Rock, Arkansas. And we just built our dream home, which is 100% because of Plexus. And we're just starting to get settled in. So it's a fun chapter, a fun time in life right now. I have a little baby girl who's 3.5 years old. Actually, she's about to be 4. She'll be 4 in August, the day before my Plexus anniversary. So that's just a little bit about me. Yeah, I'm excited to be on.
Well, I'm so excited to have you. I told Tamara earlier today a little bit about our team dynamic because I wanted her to feel free to come on here and tell us any tips without, I told her, I said, I've been on people's calls before and I don't know for sure how they work their business and I don't want to get on there and contradict anything they said, but I sort of gave her free reign to contradict anything she doesn't know how I work my team anyway. And I was like, don't feel like you would come on and tell us anything that would be contradictory because I really want to know, I want to like a little porthole screen inside her brain so that I can like see what it is that she does, if there are magic words that she uses, if there's anything, because we would really hate to find out at the end of the day that it's just hard work. We hope there's magic somewhere. So we're going to hope that she'll share some of that magic with us. So I'm just going to ask you a few questions. And if any of you go, that's not what Lori says, well, I invited her on this call. So that's what Tamara says, okay? So anyway.
You can kick me off at any time. Just boot me off.
I mean, like the Gong Show. Okay. So I had people send in questions not knowing who was going to be on. So I just selected a few. So if your question doesn't get picked anybody, don't be mad at me. I just knew I knew more about who was going to be on and what kind of questions that I wanted her to answer. So one of the main questions that I personally have, and I know that this would probably span company wide, is there any particular wording, whether it's either written or spoken wording, that you find really effective when you're trying to approach someone about the business? Is there a certain way that you approach them, or is it always different depending on the person? I'm sure it is different depending on the person, but if there's any little tips that you have found that work really well approaching someone about the business, not necessarily about the products, can you help us out with that at all?
Yeah. So, and those of you who heard me talk at the breakout at convention, you probably heard a little bit of this, but really and truly, probably my first month and a half, I actually sat down and made a list of prospects. I thought I would only be able to come up with about 50 names, but I just kept writing and writing. And I wrote down acquaintances, strangers, my pizza delivery guy. Anybody that I could think of, I wrote their name down and I really began to expand my network. So I started going through Facebook and looking for people that I could reconnect with. So maybe a high school friend, maybe a girl who I went to hang out with one time in college. Truly anybody I could think of, I've tried to find a reason to reconnect with them. And then I went through and I circled my dream team list of about 20 people to start. And then I actually sat it aside for a little bit. And then when I lost a potential whose name was actually written on that list and circled on that list, I decided to pick it up and actually take it seriously.
When you say you lost, let me interrupt.
People.
When you say lost, do you mean someone else recruited the person? Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Ouch.
Yes. So all of a sudden I see her post on Facebook and I'm like, no way, I lost this person. And that was a trigger to me. I was like, okay, if I'm not pursuing people, if I'm not asking people that I believe could be amazing in this business, somebody else is going to do it. So why not it be me? And I'm telling you what, for the next couple of months, I pursued. I set up coffee meetings with people that I was closer to, and then people that I wasn't so close to. I sent out a ton of messages, you guys, a ton of, I guess you could call them cold call, but they weren't necessarily cold call contacts. They were at least acquaintances, but people that had never asked me about the products, never asked me about the business, never made a comment on one of my Facebook posts, nada. And basically, I don't know if there's any magic words, but I definitely always do three things. I share my belief, so I'm showing incredible excitement and enthusiasm and passion about why I'm doing this. Mm-hmm. And then I build belief into them. So I'm going to tell them why I believe in them. Are they passionate people? Are they hardworking? Do they have a strong work ethic? Are they compassionate? Are they incredibly genuine? Do they have a lot of people in their social circles, a large family and friend base? Things of that nature are those people that I call dream team members, people that have influence. They're difference makers in their life in general. So I'm telling them those things. I'm saying, Lori, you are so passionate. You are amazing. You make a post about what you're eating for dinner and you get 100 Facebook likes. You would be amazing at this. You have such a heart for people. You love people, and that's what this business is all about. So I'm building belief in how excited I am and how passionate I am, and then I'm going to build belief into them. And then lastly, this is a very simple thing, but I've seen a lot of people when they message people and they're sharing with them about the business, they say something like, let me know if you're interested, or shoot me a message if you have any desire to hear more about this, something of that nature. And I end with more something like this. I'm so excited for you to hear more. I am pumped for you to hear more about this business. Let me shoot you a sample in the mail so you can just taste test it and see what all this fuss is about. And so then I am sending them a sample in the mail, and it gives me another reason to follow up. And if you don't want to do that, if you're not a sample person, you could just say, I want you to think on this. Let me know if you have any questions. If I haven't heard from you in a couple of days, I'll check back in. So you're giving yourself permission to come back and check in with them. Does that make sense?
Yes. When you say a sample, I know that they're going to ask this. So when you say a sample in the mail, are you sending, what does that look like to you?
Yep. So I will actually take just one stick of Slim. I will write out a personal card of, again, building that belief into them. And then I will send them some sort of literature. But maybe it's a Success from Home magazine. Maybe it's a pamphlet that has some information about our products. Anything that's continuing to build that belief in our company, in our products, and or our business, for sure.
Okay. Love it. Okay. Yeah. That's great info on that. I have two other questions. I have several questions, but I have two, and I'm going to let you answer these in the order you think makes the most sense. Mm-hmm. Either whether you would rather talk about your daily method of operation for your business first, or what you do with brand new ambassadors. I don't know if one of those would make sense to come before the other, or if they would encompass each other, but go ahead.
Yeah. I think daily mode of operation is something that I didn't get a hang of for a while. I'm just being honest.
Me too.
I was very scattered, I just kind of all over the place. Organization is not my strong suit. It definitely doesn't come natural to me. So when I started realizing that things were spinning a little bit out of control, I did create a method. And basically it goes back to goal setting. At first, I was setting goals for my month. And it might be very, not in depth. It was more like, oh, I want to hit silver this month, or I want to, get a couple of customers. They weren't like action items. And so I changed that and I started setting goals every single Sunday. So that's a practice of mine that I sit down on Sunday afternoons and I write down goals for my week. So I think it's great to have big goals that you're setting out to meet, a certain PV. I want to hit 1,000 PV. I want to sign 3 new ambassadors, whatever those are. But then you've got to break that down into smaller steps so that you can actually look at those as realistic and achievable. So let's say your goal is to go silver. You're going to need to write out a list of, 10 people you're going to contact that week. And so you're being intentional. You're not just saying, oh, I hope I go silver. But you're saying, okay, who am I going to contact in order to bring on 3 new ambassadors this month? And that's whether you are a brand new ambassador or let's say you've been in the business for a year, but you want to go silver again, because that's what I believe about this business is we constantly have to go silver again and again and again. And that's my goal every single month, is to have 3 new ambassadors and 3 new customers. I love the number 3. I've always loved the number 3, and it works in this business. So you want to set out, tangible action items that you're going to complete day in and day out. So those goals, you're working towards them with purpose and with intentionality.
Love it. Okay.
You know what? And that's going to look different at where you are in your business. In the beginning, my goals look differently. And my goals were, reaching out, following up, messaging people, checking in on my customers. And I'm still doing those things. But if you've been in the business a little bit longer and you have a team, maybe your goals are, these are the 10 ambassadors on my team, levels 1, 2, and 3, that I'm going to reach out and send them a personal message and check in on them. See how I can help them. See if I can do a 3-way call with them. See if they have anyone, that is on their mind that they need help, creating a message to reach out to them. Anything that helps them build their business is also income producing activity for you if you have a team.
Wonderful. Okay. That makes sense. The personal touches and reaching out, I know that's vital and important. I need to be more organized about it. And so and more intentional about it. So I can see that would be very beneficial.
Yes. And something I did, I want to say it was 3 months ago, is I have a leaders page that I have about probably 30 to 50 people on there, and they're all different levels in my 1 through 7. And typically that's a gold or above that's going to be on that page and someone that's really working their business. So for my levels 1 through 3, I actually asked them, hey, give me a name of 2 people that need something right now. Do they need encouragement? Do they need motivation? Do they need help? Maybe a 3-way call with a prospect. And then I had each of them write out a name, of course, and then I went and sent them a personal message. So it gives them more of a personal contact, and they get to know you in an engaging way, and you don't just seem like, this leader that's a few levels above them that they don't really have a connection with. And that actually went over incredibly well. Because, it shows that you care about them. They're not a number to you. There's someone in your team working their business. And how can you help them specifically this week?
Yeah, I think that's great too. The earlier you start out doing that, the less overwhelmed you feel when you start that. So if you're a silver ambassador and you don't feel like you have a huge team and you've already started doing that and reaching out, it duplicates too. I mean, that way your level 1s and so on are doing it as well, because that's what they've learned. I learned so many lessons about duplication the hard way because of the fact that I just didn't have proper training and had no idea what I was doing. What do you do with do you have a lineup for brand new ambassadors, like right out of the gate? Can you tell us just a little bit about that?
Yes. So as soon as someone signs up, a level 1, I will reach out to them right away as soon as they have ordered their welcome pack, and I set up a training call with them so that I'm on a call with them their very first week. Okay. I don't want to get past that first week because I feel like the excitement is so high in that first 1 or 2 weeks that you want to get them on the line and really get them started. So the first thing I go over with them is establishing their why, why they want this business. What is the purpose of Plexus for them? And then we go into goal setting. And again, I talk about tangible, actionable items to set goals for their first month. And then we talk about Facebook posting, smart Facebook posting. I think that it's more than just telling someone, post every day, be consistent. Those things are important, but you want to teach them how to post that draws attention to them, that draws excitement out of them, because then that is going to draw excitement out of their audience. So we talk about smart Facebook posting, and then we talk about list making, because I'm all about some list making. And then, I want them to first make that list, and then the next time we talk, we can talk about how to pursue the people on that list. And then lastly, I go over every single resource and tool. Well, I shouldn't say every single, my top 5 that I find most important. And I think one thing too, guys, and I've seen a lot of people do this, they just add people to pages, and they just, good luck. You can, here's a great page. But you know what? Tell them everything you're adding them to. Say, this page is for this. This is what it's going to bring value to you. This page, Plexus Power Tools, this has a ton of resources for you. Tell them what they are so it doesn't seem so overwhelming, and they realize there's a value in everything that you have added them to. So they see, okay, here's some resources for me. Here's some training for me, and they plug in. So that's definitely what I do with a new ambassador.
Okay. After this, tomorrow sometime, would you mind sharing with me some of the ones that you think are ones that anybody would have access to, basically, like Plexus Power Tools, and I'll share that on my team page if that's okay with you, because I know I'm trying to keep them from asking me.
Yeah. And Lori, I don't know if you've taken my prospecting scripts, but I wrote out 3 or 4 different prospecting scripts that I've used in the past, and I posted them on that convention page. So you're welcome to, post that in your team page.
Okay.
And that will give you guys, some examples of things I've used. And of course, you definitely want to tweak it. You want to make it personal. You may read through that and say, this doesn't really sound like me. It doesn't really sound like my personality. And that's okay. Use that as just a guide for you. And then you can tweak it and make it sound like you. So when you're sending that message out, there's definitely that personal touch.
Okay, wonderful. Love that. I'll do that. I'll get you guys that are listening. If she's talking about something that you've not seen before, I will share it on our team page, so you don't have to worry about that. I want to interrupt and say one thing regarding having a guest speaker on my call. It's incredibly nice for anyone to join us on a call, and I ask, because I'm in the same shoes that she's in, and you guys know what I go through with answering everybody's questions all day long. I ask that if you have a question regarding the call tonight, that go through our team page, and we'll find the answer for you. That way people are not bombarding anybody, because she has her own team to deal with. And I know everybody knows what I'm talking about that. But I have another question. How do you get your team involved with goals, challenges, challenges, contests, anything that you have going on within your team page and stuff? Is there a certain magic that you've found to get people to want to participate, or have you found that that's more in the types of people you recruit, or do you know?
Do you mean like what motivates them?
Yes, maybe what motivates them. And is there a certain thing that do you send out emails to tell them about the challenge? Do you promote it on the team page and then tag them? And yes, definitely what motivates them. I want to know that too. Yes.
Okay. So the 2 contests that I have found, I'm just going to tell you about them, that I have so much participation in, is one, I had them do a video training. So I had people, and they, it was an option for them for sure. And they could do a 3 to 5 minute video training. And then we posted the links on the page, and people got to vote for them. So it got the whole team to participate, regardless if they entered or not. And everybody loved it. In fact, I think I'm going to do it again, because it was the most fun. And so then whoever got the most votes, got $150 cash, and then $100 cash, and $75. So it was different, increments for the top 3. And then for the honorable mentions, I sent like a book on network marketing.
That's
so
cool.
That one got a lot of excitement because everybody was really engaged. And one thing I've found too, is that if you do a contest where A plus B equals C, in other words, if you do A and B, you definitely get C. People are motivated by that because it's not a drawing. Because a lot of people go, oh, a drawing for cash. Well, I mean, there's 3,000 people on this page. There's no way I'm going to get it. And so they just don't even try. But I found even as something as simple as if you add one ambassador and one new customer and you hit 500 PV this month, you get $25 cash. People are all over it because they know they get something tangible at the end of it.
Okay. Love that. That's great. That's great pointers right there. I love that. Let me look back through I'm not a very good multitasker. Like I want to listen to your answers rather than check what my next question is.
Lori, let me tell you one more thing about contests that I just did recently. So if you're a leader, it doesn't matter what rank you are. If you have a team and you want to do an incentive, and I did this on my team page, ask your team what motivates them. So I had this whole thread of people saying swag, cash, whatever it is, a new product that I hadn't tried being sent to me for free, network marketing books, any type of training material. Ask them what motivates them. And that gets conversation going. It gets people engaged on your page. And then you can tweak your contest to what your team is telling you. This is what excites me.
What excites them.
So, yeah. So I've done tweaking because of that.
That's awesome. Do you find yourself going through, you personally, do you have weeks where things are just off? Like with your business, with your maybe your team even seems like they're not as engaged as they are at other times, and then it comes back together for them.
100% yes. I think the summer is hard, you guys. Mm-hmm. I've had level ones tell me just in the past 2 or 3 weeks, man, I just feel like everything is so slow. My team is just not motivated right now. What can we do to create excitement? I think we all go through that. And I think it's comforting to know that you're not alone in that. Yes, I think there's an ebb and flow to this business. There absolutely is. There's an ebb and flow. And there's going to be really exciting, momentous times. And there's going to be other times that you're like biting your nails going, what is going on here? Yeah. And guys, I think it's the summer. Yeah. But you know what? In those times, I think that we go back to our lists of people that we need to follow up with. Yes. I hope you're making lists of people you need to follow up with, because when I wasn't doing that, a ton of people were falling through the cracks. Yes. But make a list of people, if you're not already, that you need to follow up with, that you've ever spoken with about Plexus. It doesn't matter if it was 6 months ago, and you start going back to those people. One way that I think is so great to follow up is to share a testimony with them. So if your first conversation you had and they said, migraines is what I'm really looking for, go find them a testimony and say, I ran across this today and I thought of you. I wanted to share this with you because I know you suffer from migraines and I want you to find relief. So you're giving them some value when you're following up. So I think in those slow times, that's what we do. We go back to our list. We follow up with people. We keep pursuing new people. We read books, anything to invest in ourselves and to grow ourselves. We get on training calls and just keep on going, because it's not a race, it's a journey, and there's going to be slower times where you got to catch your breath. Yes. Well, I sort of knew without asking you that I was crossing my fingers that was going to be your answer, just simply for the fact that I know that everybody experiences that at times, and it's encouraging to know that even someone on the leaderboard experiences that, even someone who, is a stay-at-home mom, whether they work full-time, everybody sort of goes through that, and not to get too discouraged. And when you say you keep a list, this is my last question, and then because I want to still have you on here because I'm going to pray over everybody and then we'll dismiss. But when you say you keep a list, what does that look like? Is it on your phone? Is it paper? Do you keep it in your purse? I'm a paper person. Okay. So I have a notebook with different file tabs, and I have my potential customer list, my potential ambassador list, and then people that I still want to reach out to. So my cold call messages, for example. So I have 3 different lists going at all times. And then also my customer list, a list of all my customers. And I used to follow up like every week. And as my customer base grew, I started following up about every 2 to 4 weeks. And I even get my calendar out and I'll write down like 3 to 4 names every Friday. I call it Follow Up Friday. And so then you have these 3 or 4 customers that you're following up with, and then you can move them, a month out to another Friday, 3 or 4 weeks out. And so you're in a routine and a pattern of following up with people on a consistent basis. Okay. Very good. Very good. Hey, can you tell us just like
30 seconds on your new home? I think did you just move in today or just finish moving in today or what?
Well, we moved in right before convention.
Okay.
So there's like no furniture. There's like nothing. But we do have outdoor furniture. So I'll kind of give you a little view here. Woo!
See,
we got that yesterday.
I saw your pictures of the outside, and I told Jetty, I said, because we live in a craftsman style home ourselves, and I love that style. It's beautiful. So I was drooling over yours, and so I know you're super excited. How old are you, if you don't mind me asking?
I'm 35.
Yeah, see, she's 35. That's ridiculous, and it's awesome. I think it's amazing. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can remember as a kid, I thought 30 was old. And then when I get older, I think, man, building your dream home at 35 is like, it's unheard of and it's remarkable. And I'm excited for you. And I really appreciate you being on the call with us tonight. And I'm not going to keep you any longer, but I am going to pray over everybody really quick. And then I'll just dismiss everybody if that's okay. Okay?
Sure.
All right. Lord, we come to you tonight just so grateful and thankful. I appreciate the one Plexus heart of this company and how other teams are willing to span across the gap and create a bridge so that we all reach out to help each other. I'm so thankful for Tamara tonight and really appreciate her. I ask that you bless her for being willing to give of her time, and I know she's got family at home waiting on her to do whatever it is they do right before bedtime, and we just really appreciate it. Lord, I want to lift up all my team tonight. All of you who joined us tonight, I'm so grateful for you. I pray that you will mend broken relationships, Lord, and show us whatever it is that if we have anything that's blocking us from reaching the next step, just show it to us. Put it right in front of us so that it would be like crazy visual. We see it, we get it, and we begin to just lay that down, Lord. I pray an extra helping of boldness over those of us who've gotten into this business and we want to take the next step and we're just nervous and we're scared. And I pray holy boldness over every single one of us, that it's like when people walk up to us, that all the fear just falls off and we're able to just speak fluidly. And when we have the chance to present this business to people, we remember everything we're taught and it comes out so easily. I pray over our families. I lift our families up to you, and I always lift up our marriages to you, Father. So many important things that have really nothing to do with Plexus, but they impact our businesses so much. Pray over our kids. I ask that you keep them safe. And I pray over the finances that are represented in this group. I know so many of us got involved in this business because of the finances, Lord, and I just pray an extra helping, an anointed blessing on every single family involved. If there are any unspoken requests tonight, Lord, I know that you're the author of our lives, and I know that you know those things. And I ask that you just soothe every heart that's on this call if they have something that's burdening them. I lift those things up to you, and I pray your grace and mercy over all of us. In Jesus' name, amen. Thank you guys so much. I'm going to stop